All right, what's up, folks? Welcome back to the Occupy Fantasy channel. We're here with another Underdog Fantasy Best Ball Mania draft. Welcome, I'm Brian Jester, co-founder here at Occupy Fantasy. I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Swag Lord Ken. Ken, it's been an excellent weekend of UFC, golf. You're watching CS:GO, MLB. Julio's on the cover of the Daily Plug today, but now we get to talk some NFL in May. What's up?
Yeah, I'm excited. Lots of sports going on, but kind of slowly dying down, and then July, August ramps back up for some preseason and NFL stuff for sure. So doing pretty good here.
Awesome, awesome. So we're gonna draft live here on stream. I was watching Chris and Chuck's video from Friday night, which again we do these videos 3 times per week where we're drafting live drafts, live on air where you guys can comment, question during the drafts. And I was watching on their stream, Ken, and the $7 puppy was available. And honestly, I don't want to waste any of my $25 bullets on Best Ball Mania this early in the year. I want to wait a couple months, probably until July. However, that contest somehow has filled or been removed or something. So we were forced to waste one. So we're going to have to at least make the first bullet here in May and maybe just win the 3 million with this bullet.
Yeah, let's do it. That's a smart move. Somehow they all filled, but hopefully more get posted. But it'll be interesting to see what drafts you get in May compared to August for sure.
Absolutely. So I'll be 100% honest. I have not done the research that Chuck nor Chris have done. I've been watching those videos. Obviously, we follow the NFL news. And just as of this morning, we published our ADP tracker on OccupyFantasy.com. Updates every morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Looks at the ADP change for every player over the last 7 days. So, Ken, this is going to be a great tool, I know for us at least, who haven't done a ton of drafts, or in my case, any drafts, to see who's moving up and down. And it's kind of nice to see when a news item drops this early in the offseason and how it affects players' ADPs.
Yeah, this is a big helpful tool. It also gives you a sense of kind of what positions moving up and down and what's becoming valuable, and maybe even some spots open opportunities elsewhere for some guys.
Exactly. So let's hop in this draft really quickly. Let's enter this Best Ball Mania draft. Yes, $25 will be deducted. All right, and we're almost filled. So we got, what, 3 or 4 spots here waiting. So, Ken, as we're waiting, I'm going to go back to the draft, the ADP tracker here. And Alexander Madison was one that caught my eye. Obviously, we had the, the social media chaos of Dalvin Cook being removed from their Twitter header. Alexander Madison inserted lots of trade rumors there. So it's no shock that despite Chris and Chuck's best efforts over the past 2 weeks to get his ADP up there, that Madison's ADP is finally jumping up a bit, up nearly 10 spots since a week ago. What do you think plays out in that situation?
Yeah, this is an interesting one, but I don't think the move is justified yet. But we haven't seen Dalvin Cook kind of go anywhere, and if he does, then Madison really shoots up to, I guess, round 3 or even round 4, maybe even higher. So I think at 80s, it's probably still a good spot to kind of take a chance, but there's definitely still a lot to think about from there.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're going to get value. How much value will it end up being is the ultimate question. Obviously, we know that in May is where you have the biggest deltas by the time the season starts when it comes to value. And it could be positive or negative value. And that's really where the benefits of drafting in May come in. Obviously, you have the entire offseason to lose players due to injury or trades or whatever it is. But, this is why we're drafting in May, because we're trying to get those values and we're going to try to get a value draft here. All right, we are full. Let's see where the hell we're drafting. We're drafting the 8th spot. So, Ken, I'm going to bring up the ADP here. And 8th spot, we're looking at Kelsey, Bijan, Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown. And I will get this out in the open first and foremost. You and I are going to try to correlate the hell out of this because I personally don't have a great sense of who's over and undervalued. Maybe you do, and you can help me out during the draft. But you and I, we're just going to week 15, 16, 17 stack the hell out of this shit. And whoever we draft, we're just going to go correlation from there. How's that sound?
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds great. The 8 spot's interesting. Usually, I know Chris and Chuck, if Bijan's here, it's just a kind of auto pick. But if Kelsey or someone else, like a stud, slides here, then we can't take them there too.
Cool. You and I were talking right before the stream started. We got the Week 17 stack of Atlanta and Chicago, so we'll just load up on every run game option for the $3 million Atlanta-Chicago game-winning stack. How's that sound?
Yeah, 0 pass plays. DJ Moore not gonna do much this year. Was they only run the ball right? So
Right. Seriously. All right. All right. So Jay Jetta's off the board. Jamar Chase. Tyreek Hill, number 3, off the board.
Yeah.
All right, we're 4 picks away. Let me see here. How do I get? I haven't even drafted in so long. How do you even the hell you even get to the board here? Here we go. All right, we got the board here. All right,
Yeah.
J2, Chase, Tyreek, Garrett Wilson, 4th overall. You
Oh
weren't you
yeah.
were you weren't as convinced of his high ADP, were you?
Oh yeah. I think even that is a misclick because he's around 14. So I don't know what that guy's doing there.
Seems like Parker CT is going for the unique combo construction by taking Garrett Wilson. Sorry, I know Chuck and
Yeah.
Chris talked about that at length. No one's taking Wilson at 4. All right, Kelsey, CMC, Cup are off the clock. We got 30 seconds. We just auto picking Bijan here, or are we going with a Diggs Allen stack? What are you thinking?
Yeah. I usually for me it's B John, but I like Diggs Allen as well. But I guess I'll leave it to you here.
All right, we'll go Bijan. We'll auto.
Yeah, he's the interesting one because like the role, like he could be number one if because no one really knows. We haven't seen him play, but if he just becomes like this beast running back, he should be going number one. So I think there's still value there on Bijan.
True. I agree. I agree for sure. So, generally, Ken, I'm of the zero running back variety, maybe hero running back variety. So, especially taking Bijan that's early, I will probably hold off on running back for a while here. Obviously, we'll see how the board develops. All right, so we got Bijan in our first pick. Who does Atlanta have in week 15, 16, and 17?
The Atlanta Falcons. Well, they do play the Bears in week 17 and also in 15, 16. It's the Panthers and the Colts. So if you want to go, I guess rookie, Anthony Richardson could be an interesting pick for sure.
We definitely
To
could.
do.
All right, so we
Yeah.
got Indy and Carolina, you said, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Indian Carolina.
let's see. So Jonathan Taylor has the only top 3 round ADP of that list. Let's go back here.
Okay.
So we got Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, AJ Brown, Eckler, CeeDee Lamb at the turn. Now we're back on the clock with Farachi, and so 3 picks until us. If we get JT here, we get that extra that immediately disqualifies my hero running back statement. But we do get the correlation there, so it's something interesting. However, Ken, I'm more leaning towards we just wait until rounds 4 and beyond to correlate this pick, correlate the Bijan pick. JT's off the board anyways. All right, so Amon-Ra goes, Waddle goes. So now we're on the clock. Now we got best player available for us. We can't correlate right now. So we got Saquon, Mahomes, Hurts, Chubb, Allen. We could go. I feel receiver here. Olave, Devonta Smith, T. Higgins. I really like Olave a lot this year. I think I'm going to reach for him here, Ken, unless you have another
Okay.
question.
Let's do that. He's look the top one based on ADP. Olave is a good one there, and he's and he produced last year, and now arguably he's got better QB room there. So definitely a lot of room to go up.
Totally agree. All right, so we start with Bijan Olave. All right, let's get the Olave schedule now. New Orleans schedule week 15, 16, 17.
All right, I gotta go in here, and they've got the Giants, Rams, and Bucks in that order.
So Giants, Rams, Bucks. Let's look at Tampa Bay first.
Yeah, for that divisional.
So we have Godwin, Evans, Rashad White in the middle rounds. Giants, you say correct?
Yeah.
All right, Giants. Saquon is off the board. We got Waller, and who's the other one? Giants, Bucks, and who?
And the Rams, I think. Yeah.
Rams. Okay, so LA. All right, so we're still going BPA here until we get to round 4, basically, because none of these, literally of the 6 possible playoff stacking candidates, none have a top 3-round ADP. So, all right, Chubb, Saquon, Patrick Mahomes, Brees Hall, T. Higgins, Tony Pollard, Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith. Great start there for Big Slow at the 1 spot. Justin Jefferson, and then with the Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith stack. That's really nice.
Yeah, there is kind of an advantage drafting at these corners because you get 2 picks. So if you want to kind of auto correlate there, I think that's a big plus.
Totally agree. All right, Derrick Henry, DK Metcalf, Jahmyr Gibbs off the board. If you guys are watching this live, go ahead and drop some comments in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. Make fun of our picks all you want. Make fun of our strategy. Make fun of our lack of knowledge of NFL right now. Or cheer us on. We also appreciate the support. All right, ETN off the board. I mean, I can't get on board with that pick this early. Ken, the draft and the rookie running back there. And I still don't know why they didn't use him in the passing game much last year, which seemed like his best asset coming out of college.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, if you recall it was like a Lisfranc injury, so I think maybe that could have hampered him a bit. I know Jahmyr Gibbs went right before ETN. I'm not too high on him either because I feel like he's just like another DeAndre Swift, where I'm not sure if he'll get 100% there.
True. And then Josh Jacobs, who feels like he performed at max ceiling last year, he goes off the board. All right, we got 20 seconds left here.
Yeah,
Um,
I think Chris would be upset if we didn't go Stevenson, but I could see Josh Allen sliding down here probably could help Chris, could wipe Chris's tears a bit there. So
I think we're
I
gonna go
think Josh
Stevenson.
Allen or okay Stevenson then.
Let's go Stevenson. And now now no matter what, we were done with running back for
Yeah, now
Atlanta.
we're pretty loaded.
Yeah, and
Well, if they suck, then you weren't going to win anyways, right? So
exactly. And that leads me to my next point, which is if these guys suck, then we're automatically out of the running. Doesn't matter who the hell we pick next. And so when I have two stud running backs, or at least in my mind, two stud running backs, I tend to draft less running backs in general. So I'll probably go with just four running backs on this team and hope that Bijan and Stevenson carry that position every week.
yeah, agreed there. I mean, realistically, these guys, you gotta trust these guys. If these guys aren't going to work out, they're not going to be much. So we should go receiver heavy, and then quarterbacks and tight ends at the end there.
Yep. Just really quickly, New England schedule 15, 16, 17. I know they got Buffalo in there once because I saw that in every single stream.
Oh, they got some good ones. They got Buffalo, the Chiefs, and the Broncos, who'd hopefully have a resurgence. So a lot of opportunity there.
All right, Buffalo, Chiefs, and Broncos. All right, let's bring up the board here and let's try to correlate this next pick. So we got, let's look here. So we could go Justin Fields, right? We could go Justin Fields with the correlation
Yeah,
with Bijan. We have DJ Moore, obviously, correlates there. Drake London, if we want to go super Atlanta heavy, and I don't think anybody will really do that. And then we're still waiting until the next round until we get a correlated team. So, all right, let's look at Fields more in London here. Maybe we'll get as much as we were joking about it. Ken, we might actually get this Atlanta
yeah,
Chicago stack.
that's right. I don't hate it because you know what the offenses are going to run a lot, and if you get the running guys, then you should be good, right?
Yeah, and it should be uh, we should know where the ball is going for each team. Now again, it's 16 weeks out from the start of the season, so we're on the board. Jerry Jeudy, Christian Watson, Amari Cooper. Now you more inclined to take Fields here? I think for stacking, I am not. I'd much rather go DJ Moore and or Drake London.
Yeah, I'm probably higher on London, but
Okay, I agree. Let's go with
I
London.
think anyone. Yeah,
Drake London it is. All right, so now we have two Atlanta players. Now we're extra looking for these Atlanta stacks. So again, that would just remind me one more time, Ken, of Atlanta's. We got Chicago and who else?
right. They've got the Panthers and the Colts.
Oh yeah, teams that are definitely going to be very good and will have tons of
Yeah.
fantasy relevant players. All right, so Panthers and Colts we're especially looking for. We still got the Saints outs. We still got the Patriots outs here, so we got lots of options. So
But the Falcons were interesting because at the end they were kind of not too great, but they didn't really care, and they're like, let's go super crazy on these offense and points. And
yeah.
I know Tyler Algier down the stretch had a couple big games, so hopefully we get something like that this year.
And I can't imagine just for the fact that we were making fun of it, I can't imagine anyone is willingly or consciously stacking Atlanta games 15, 16, 17. So obviously that there goes that uniqueness angle that Chuck and Chris were talking about last week on the shows. All right, quarterbacks still flying off the board here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already gone. We'll probably go with a late round committee approach. It already appears so. All right, so we still got. Let's go back to who we're looking for here. So we still got the Fields potential stack here. We'll see that he's still on the board for us. Michael Pittman, Indy was a potential stack. Let's line him up. Chris Godwin was Tampa Bay is with the Olave stack, so we like that.
Yeah, so lots of options for us here.
And even Mike
If
Evans.
Fields slides down, it might be Fields if he keeps going. I think.
I agree because that gives us the ultimate week 17 stack. We want to stack someone with Fields late. We can. If not, he could put a 40 for us at the quarterback, and we get the correlation coming back on the other side.
And you also get like all of the Bears scoring. So there goes Pittman. There goes Fields, of course.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. So now I'm thinking Chris Godwin. I like him a lot this year, anyways. Think he could have a huge target share even with the downgraded quarterback, and that gets us to Chris Olave correlation.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get Chris Godwin here.
All right, so right now we're through 5. We have 3 receivers, 2 running backs. We have Tampa Bay, New Orleans, which seems like the most likely stack that we're going to look at. So, right now, will Baker start the whole season? I don't know. But it feels like a Derek Carr pick is in order with Chris Olave to get this Week 17 stack going, Ken. Derek Carr's ADP, let's look it up here. If we're looking at New Orleans. Let's bring it up. So Derek Carr, 144, so looking around 12 or so. And then we have the Michael Thomas, Kamara, and even the real late. I mean, I like Rashid Shaheed late, Jawan Johnson late. I'm really thinking if we go 3x1, 3x2 here, that I'll probably go with a Shaheed or Jawan super late to triple stack.
Yeah, I like that. Jawan Johnson, and I don't think there's much competition.
No,
Is Foster Moreau? He's going to play apparently. I think he was cleared, but question marks there for sure.
absolutely. All right, so Mixon, Hawkinson, Kittle, Walker, Evans is off the board. There goes our Tampa Bay double. All right, ADP. Let's look at it. We're not gonna take a third Atlanta player. That seems insane.
You could,
We could.
and then but probably not there.
All right, the
It
Chiefs.
depends.
The Chiefs were a stacking partner for someone, right? I think Stevenson, maybe.
Yes, for the Patriots because they
Okay.
got the free. Yeah.
All right, so we got Kadarius Toney potentially lined up. Isaiah Pacheco, we're not taking him running back here. It also may be best player available right now because we don't have many stacking partners that are even within a round or two. What do you think about the Seattle situation? You're up there in Seattle. Well, actually, we're on the board now. Do you want to take Kadarius Toney and lock in this correlation?
Yeah, we could do that. That's an interesting pick there.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
and again, some of these guys I'm not especially high on,
right.
but we're willing to overlook our margin for error when it comes to projections at this point in the season, in lieu of this extra correlation for when playoffs rolls around.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ceiling and lots of floor for Tony actually. But if he really cements himself with Juju gone as kind of the wide receiver one role, then this could be a huge payoff for us.
Absolutely. And as Chris says in the chat, dark mode engage. Yeah, we got dark mode on because I'm old and cannot see anything without dark mode. Ayuk, Pitts off the board. All right, Ken. So 4 receivers, 2 running backs here. I mean, in this format, I'm fine to continue hammering wide receivers. Derek Carr is our quarterback target, probably round 11 just to be safe. No one
Yeah,
else,
that sounds good.
and no other quarterback stacks really, right? We're not gonna take Desmond Ritter probably. Maybe we do and get crazy. Mayfield, I guess, super late. Maybe Mac Jones is correlated with Stevenson since he dumps the ball off 50 times a game.
Yeah, well, he's an interesting one because I guess he's gonna start the year off, but we'll have to see if he gets benched or not. Even though,
Yeah, I mean, God forbid, it's May. Is Mayfield gonna last until Christ December for this pick to even be worthwhile super late? Real quick, I did want to get your opinion. You're up there in Seattle. We got cut off last time. JSN's going ahead of Tyler Lockett. I'm not sure how right that is, at least for 2023 Dynasty Leagues, obviously. But what was your take on the whole wide receiver room?
yeah, I mean, I was telling Chuck that I think most of the rookies are kind of overvalued because we really haven't seen them perform anything yet. So all you kind of know is like how well they did in college, and they did pretty well to be drafted in the first round. So then guys draft them really high, and there's a good chance that most don't produce, but there's just a kind of like not enough ball to go around for JSN to kind of be like that number one guy with Metcalf and Lockett already established receivers on team. So it's a bit shocking for me that JSN is actually like kind of way too early for me at this spot here.
Agree. I agree. All right, 2 picks away. 2 names that are on my mind. We talked about the Anthony Richardson correlation. Love that here. He's available. We also have Darren Waller. We do need a tight end. I'm not sure how high his ceiling is in a Daniel Jones led offense, Ken. But he does have the correlation with one of the teams we drafted. So I think it's maybe Bijan or Chris Olave.
Yeah, Waller's interesting because I think Jones did throw a lot to Bellinger. So now with the clear tight end upgrade, you could get a lot from Waller. But I think it's Anthony Richardson for me here. He's kind of still the highest upside QB on the board that's available.
Totally agree. Let's go with Anthony Richardson. And the way our draft was falling, it's not like we were looking for a high end or it was going to work for us to get high end quarterback stacking. And Richardson just fits the bill here. We get Richardson with Bijan stacks. And he could put up 30 points a game in the playoffs, which is what we're looking for. Maybe we find a cheap pass catcher late for Indy, but we'll see here. James Conner off the board. He's another one that at round 7 can. I mean, there's not a lot of competition there. Arizona should certainly suck this year, but I feel like Connor's a great value right now, and I feel like once we get the ADP tracker flowing in a couple months, I feel like we'll see his ADP rise.
Yeah, agreed there. It's just going to be so frustrating when they're down like 20 points in the first quarter and they only give him the ball like 5 more times. So that's definitely a downside there.
For sure. All right. All right. So no tight ends. All right. Do we want to take Michael Thomas here? He'll probably play 3 games, but
Yeah.
we get the. I mean, we're playing for the upside here. If we go Michael Thomas and come back with Derek Carr, now we have the 3x1 New Orleans stacks that no one else is going to have.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be unique, drafting Michael Thomas is definitely an option.
That sounds like that's the only explanation for you to take Michael Thomas here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just so tough because we're not even sure, what kind of state he's in or how injured. Or
here's the thing: would you rather take Kamara as our running back 3?
Yeah, I think Kamara is an interesting one too.
Okay, I feel better about Kamara, and we're not taking a huge risk on him. He's our running back 3. We know he has a ceiling. We'll see. We'll see. I think Kamara is the better option here. Oh, and I'm on the clock and almost.
Let's do Kamara. And I mean, there's a big plus is like if in a normal year he's probably going first or second round, so hopefully he gets the upside there again. And then like if they trade him, it's going to be a good spot for him as well. So definitely a lot of upside with Kamara, especially value at round 8 here.
Totally agree. Can you do me a favor? Just check bye weeks. Make sure that Anthony Richardson and Derek Carr do not share the same bye week. Because if they don't, we can survive with 2 quarterbacks. If not, we'll have to take a third.
Yes, I will do that. So the Colts are bye week 12, and the Saints
got to be 12.
Are bye week. Hopefully not bye week 12, but they're bye week 11.
All right, we're good.
So back to back.
All right, cool. So we're good there. All right, so we're gonna get Derek Carr. I think. We might have to go around early here. We'll see. So if I look up, let me see. Let me look up the quarterbacks here. Who's going before Derek Carr? That could be our little indicator. Derek Carr is going pretty late. Goff, Russ Wilson, Kyler Murray. Once those guys go, that's when we can start to think about Derek Carr. So let's keep that in mind, Ken. If we see Goff, Russ Wilson, Kyler Murray go, that should be our indicator that we need to take Carr really soon.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll be, it won't be the end of the world if someone snipes Derek Carr.
I agree. All right, let's see. That's very true. Okay, so who we got left here?
Yeah, we're probably looking at wide receivers because we got some running backs, so probably more receiver heavy again.
Could go Juju. We get New England stacks with Ramondre and Juju. We have Kadarius Toney. They play each other in a playoff week, so we could go Juju here. I'm gonna add him to the queue.
Yeah, I like that one too. I know Chris is really high on Juju this year, and both Chuck and Chris are high on him. So definitely lots of opportunity. And I noticed we have like a lot of guys. You kind of lock up a lot of the scoring. Like Richardson should do a lot in Indy, and B. John should probably be the only guy scoring in Atlanta. And with this New England, they don't factor in the other guys much just because the team is kind of not too great at that. So.
Agree. We could. So if Juju's gone, Pat Freiermuth is on the board. Pitt's offense actually wasn't as bad as I thought they were when looking back at the numbers. We're on the clock. Let's take Juju, right?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm lucky to follow him here. And yeah, you mentioned Freiermuth. I told Chuck I was big on Pittsburgh. I think Pickett will have that kind of second year leap. So when your first year and your second year, that's kind of when you see the most improvement from quarterbacks. So I think a lot of Pittsburgh guys should be decent this year with Deontay Johnson and Freiermuth as well.
Agree. So we are running. So we haven't taken a tight end through 9 rounds. That dictates that I will probably draft at least 3 here late. And that's kind of always my approach, Ken, usually every year when I'm in drafts is if I can't get one of the studs or if I can't lock up 2 before, around 10 or 12, generally I can find some guys that I like late and we'll just go with 3 or 4. Pray one pans out, or just pray one can get us 10 points a week in best ball formats.
Yeah, I mean, I agree there. I mean, after the really stud tight ends and you get super late and then all the tight ends that go, there really isn't much difference between either of them. So My advice would be just keep waiting, and even in these rounds, if like there's a running back or wide receiver that you like, just keep skipping on tight end, and then you'll kind of know maybe rounds 12, 13, just keep going there, and then that's when your chance to take a tight end is.
Sounds good. So I got Firemouth queued up just in case he somehow slips to us. We got let's scroll down here. We got 3 picks for us. Maybe we won't get sniped for a change. Other than that, it's pretty slim pickings. We could take Darnell Mooney. That gives us the week 17 correlation. And he's a big play threat. He's a guy I definitely like in best ball formats.
That's an interesting one, and they just
Does anybody else stick out to
Boyd,
you?
I think, just went off. Well, there was Boyd, and but not anymore.
All right, Boyd, P. Ryan, and
Uh,
Lazard just went. Should we take Firemouth here? Because I was willing to take him in the round before, and that gives us a
yeah,
tight
I
end
mean,
here.
let's do it. I mean, he's the main guy, and he gets a lot of target share, and kind of like Pickett's safety blanket there for sure.
Sweet. All right, so we got Firemouth. I like the way this draft is falling right now. So Firemouth. All right, so right now, position check. Again, if you guys are watching this, if you have questions, throw them in the chat. Say what's up. Show your support. So we have 3 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide receivers. We're going to continue to hammer wide receivers here. We're looking for our indicator, which is a great tool, I think, if you're looking for stacking, especially at quarterback. Once the couple guys before them at ADP go off the board, that should be your indicator to take him. We still haven't seen Goff or Kyler or Russ go off the board yet, so we're still waiting to pull the trigger on Derek Carr for our ultimate nobody has this week 17 stack. Ken, I know you did one draft here with Chuck earlier. Any late round ideas, thoughts, guys that when you were watching the draft, like, well, I like that guy, or he could go a little bit higher.
Yeah, I mean, Chuck had some. I think we had some Bengals, so we actually correlated with the Chiefs. I know Ricky James was
Mm.
a big talking point on the Chiefs, but really any guys. I don't know if Rasheed Rice has gone yet. He was going a bit early, but I think he's kind of slid down a bit. So that's definitely an interesting one for a rookie. And then Cordero Patterson
Mm.
is always a definitely interesting pick because somehow he produces, but I don't even know what team he's on now. Is he still on the?
I think he's still on the Falcons, right? See, this goes to show
Yeah,
we haven't done our research yet.
yeah. I mean, I really because he plays for like 20 different teams, but I guess Patterson is an interesting one. If you somehow end up with like a Ritter Patterson stack at the end there.
Do me a favor, Ken, really quickly. So we have 3 running backs: Bijan, Ramondre, Kamara. What are their bye weeks? Let's make sure they're not all 3 on the same bye week.
Yeah, that would be important not to have guys. Let's see here. I'll just pull up all the bye weeks, and hopefully they'll make it nice for us here. Okay, so the Falcons are bye week 11, and then the Saints, unfortunately, also 11, and the Patriots also 11. So not great.
Are you serious?
Well,
Christ.
yeah, I wish I wasn't, but they've all got the same bye week.
All right, so
So we're gonna.
we're gonna punt 11. Maybe we might have to. We actually might have to take a 5th running back now, unfortunately. So I'll take one super late. That's
The
not bye week 11.
Yeah, the other team was the Colts. Oh yeah, so I guess we are just punting 11.
Yeah, okay, well, week 11 we were gonna score 0 points, but we're gonna score 300 points per week before week 11, and we'll be in safe positioning for the playoffs. All right, Khalil Herbert just went. We're one spot away from securing our Darnell Mooney Chicago Atlanta Week 17 stack. So let's pray, fingers crossed, that first rate picker does not pick Darnell Mooney here, as we anxiously await who he's going to take, who they're going to take.
Yeah, and the Bears also have Roshan Johnson,
Okay.
who I'm guessing could even slide into the main role
All right, and
now
Darnell
that Mike.
Mooney has just been taken.
Yeah,
So AJ Dillon, I know, is someone that Chris and Chuck are high on, and we're getting him here now. He doesn't have a
yeah,
bye week 11, so that could be a good selling point for us.
that's a big plus. Yeah, I like that too. I think, um, I mean, he's just good. So let's just go here and with the slide, definitely a lot of value there. I mean, these guys must know something that we don't.
I know,
He's got
I know,
like what's going on?
I know, but that's the beauty of drafting in May. We could be very wrong, but very often we do find these values that once August, September roll around, these guys are 3 rounds higher. And Dylan could certainly be one of those guys. I mean, for him to be drafted around 11 makes zero sense when basically every year in the league, he's returned at least single digit round or higher. So we'll see. All right, so Dak just went off the board. Russ Wilson, there is our indicator. So Ken, I'm gonna lock up Derek Carr here just to make sure, even around later than we expected. So I'm gonna tee up Derek Carr because he is so important to our $3 million payday.
Yeah, I mean, you saw how much success he had in Las Vegas there, so
Yep.
definitely gotta get Carr while you can.
Yeah, so we're gonna lock up Derek Carr. We're gonna get the stack going. We'll have a little 2x1, no 3x1, and we'll continue to look for other stacking pieces here. Now, as we talk about stacking, so you saw the ADP tracker, OccupyFantasy.com. As early as tonight, but probably tomorrow or Tuesday, we're going to have our Stack Seeker tool up. It's going to be in the same location. There's going to be a different tab there. And what you'll be able to do is you'll type in a player's name or team, and it'll give their week 15, 16, 17 matchups that Ken is manually looking up right now. And you'll much easier be able to find the stacks that you want. It'll have ADPs of all the players for those correlations. Ken, that'll be a huge tool for us, not having to manually look back at 100 different tabs.
Yeah, these tools are really cool, especially this ADP one. And like I'm even thinking about you could probably apply this to like your own personal fantasy drafts if you're not that into best ball. But like these tools are great for best ball and fantasy drafts and a lot of other things for sure.
Absolutely. All right, so we just locked in Derek Carr. That's $3 million. We can just no one else needs to draft.
Here you go.
So
And Higby just went. Chris's favorite tight end.
yeah, yeah. So Chris has been drafting him really frequently in these drafts. So
Yeah, that's funny because he said tight end 5 and like I don't disagree anything, but he's getting drafted like he's tight end 12 or something. So I thought that was just a funny one there.
yeah. All right, so we have our two quarterbacks. They're not the same bye week. We've confirmed. Right? Just really quickly, Indy's bye week is they are 11. God damn it. That's right.
Indy, yeah.
Week 11 is bad for us. Holy shit. Okay. All right, we have to take a third quarterback.
Yeah. Hopefully we get the guy who drafted Garrett Wilson 4th.
Yeah.
That we get that guy in week 11.
Oh my god. Okay.
A third quarterback. Well, they all suck. I mean,
yeah, I'm fine. We literally just need someone not to get us a 0 in week 11. Although our entire roster is in desperate shape in week 11 as it is, so we got to get as many points as we can. As I say that, so Jared Goff, Kyler Murray just went off the board. People following ADP like the sheep that they are. So glad we took Derek Carr when we did. Not sure he would have made it back around to us because someone certainly would have taken an unstacked Derek Carr ahead of us, given the way this draft has been going. So can we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds left? We need at least 2 more tight ends, 1 more quarterback, and we need a running back, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that gives us 2 more receiver picks that we can get here. So let's take some high upside, potentially correlated receiver picks, quarterback, 2 tight ends, and a running back, and that should load us up pretty good.
yeah, agreed there. And we're not gonna have many receiver picks, so definitely gotta go high upside and hope for those ceiling picks. Just because we could be light on stud receivers, but we'll see how it goes there.
True. Rashid Shaheed is a guy that we have earmarked for our Saints stack, so I'm gonna put him in our queue, not necessarily for this round, but possibly the round after. Let's see here. Anyone stick out to you, Kim? We got a few picks until us, but anyone stick out to you for whether it's tight end? Cole Kmet, there goes some more correlation for us. We could take Cole Kmet. I do like him as a boom bust tight end. Greg Dulcich, Denver, I think has high upside in that Sean Payton offense this year.
I mean, Jawan Johnson's also right there as well, so that's an interesting one.
Oh, right, because we were waiting on. Okay, so let's wait one more round. There. No receivers really stand out to me in this range. I'm fine to take a couple more later.
Yeah, well, there aren't. Well, these are all kind of stabs. Like Josh Downs, that's interesting. Indianapolis one, if he really can slide in there with Richardson.
You know what? Let's take him. Let's take Josh Downs. He of course is on bye week 11, like everyone else on our team. But we need some correlation with him. So let's take Josh Downs. How do you like that?
Yeah, he's an interesting one because he did produce a ton in college, and the wide receiver room isn't really that heavy. So hopefully he could slide in maybe even over Alec Pearson.
Okay, we're gonna take Josh Downs. We have one more receiver left we can take. It absolutely, under any circumstances, cannot be by week 11. So, man, yeah, we all right. So, first draft of the year. A very harsh reminder to check your bye weeks, folks. So,
Check your bye weeks for sure. Yeah.
but you know, I actually don't even mind this. Right there's obviously a school of thought, Ken, that you dilute your team every week of the season if you spread out your bye weeks. Whereas you just get 1 week, you get it all out of the way, take an L that week, and you're at max strength the rest of the season. I certainly see some merit to that, especially if you're going with the strategy we went with of just correlation and trying to play for weeks 15 and beyond.
Yeah, agreed there. I mean, it's not terrible, and realistically, it won't be the end of the world if you do lose a week. You just have to win all the other ones.
Right.
So, yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, you're kind of correlating. I mean, guys on the same team are going to have the bye weeks, and just so happened that we had two teams with the same bye week, so that was kind of frustrating. But that's how it goes, and it's not too big of a deal there.
Yeah, exactly. All right. We're looking for a fifth running back here because we took somebody with fucking bye week 11. Raheem Mostert stands out, as does Singletary. Wait, Singletary just went. What do you think about the rookie Tank Bigsby in Jacksonville? Clearly, they're not willing to give ETN 100% of the workload. I know some pre-draft models would like Tank Bigsby a decent amount. Do you like that spot?
It's an interesting one, but I still think Etienne's the main guy. I think Mostert probably could be the good pick here, as we saw him in Miami.
All right, not by week 11, so we're taking Raheem Mostert. Good call.
So yeah.
All right, so we're done on running back. We still need some tight ends here. We need our last receiver and one more quarterback to cover us during week 11. The tight end, Juwan Johnson just went, as did Rashid Shaheed. So there goes our dreams of this mega New Orleans stack. We're okay. We got Kamara and Michael Thomas. All right, so Sam Laporta here. This is a guy, if we go back to the ADP tracker, Kim, we sort by biggest moves over the last week. Sam Laporta, nearly a full round jump in ADP since last Sunday. I guess people are finally catching up to his potential in this offense. Obviously, the first tight end drafted. I know you had some action on him, or at least tight ends in the draft. What did you see from Laporta coming out of college?
Well, he caught a lot of balls on I think on the Iowa offense that really wasn't known for its offense. So he was the main guy there, and he should slide in. He is a pass catcher, and with the tight end room is kind of light. I think Brock Wright is their main guy, so Laporta should really have easy shoes to fill in there, I think.
All right, so we got him queued up. We got 8 picks away. Very unlikely he makes it, especially with all uh, the hype that he has been getting the last week or so. So we'll see. Gerald Everett is in the mix as well. Dawson Knox, Taysom Hill. We could go Taysom with like the craziest New Orleans stack possible. That way, any trick plays, we get those points in our Week 17 stack, Ken.
Yeah, I don't even know how they still have plays for that. Like, what are they doing? But I guess Taysom is he's definitely interesting for sure. But he does have the upside there.
It does.
Which is a big plus. Yeah.
Jaden Reed's
And
another guy, the rookie receiver for Green Bay.
Yeah.
Big opening there behind Christian Watson, I think. I know Romeo Doubs. Okay, so Laporta just goes as we talk about him. Jaden Reed. We need another receiver. We need another tight end. Any of the tight ends stick out to you that are still left, Ken? Any of the receivers stick out to you?
I mean, Jaden Reed is actually right behind Laporta for biggest ADP jump. So
Right,
if he does fall here, I think.
Of course, he did not. He goes immediately after because people are only following ADP like we are. All right.
Yeah.
Any other potential stacking correlation here? Let's see here. New England, Buffalo. What about Khalil Shakir? I did like him a lot last year. He came on late. That gives us correlation with Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, I mean he's a decent flyer because he did produce in kind of a limited role. If he gets some more opportunities, and he could be a big guy.
I mean, at this point, if you're looking for guys either who can overtake a big role or just play in an amazing offense, and obviously he does with Buffalo, so I'm gonna take Shakir here. Doesn't have a week 11 bye week, thank God. All right, we're good on receivers. Now we still need to hammer tight end, and then we'll round it out with a final quarterback here. Let's see here. So tight ends that make sense to me. So Dawson Knox correlation, right? Obviously they drafted Kincaid which limits the upside and usage of Knox. But still going to be on the field, and he could easily catch a touchdown in week 15 through 17, give us some correlation. Gesicki in New England. We have a couple New England players. It gets really thin after that. Ken, I don't know if you have any thoughts on some of these bottom of the barrel tight ends.
Yeah, well, Knox just went, which is not great. Jelani Woods, fan favorite, and he played like one game, and it's like this guy should throw the ball, but then he got benched. So I don't know. That's kind of question. I think Noah Fant. I do follow the Seahawks, and he does have a decent role. He doesn't have really tons of upside, but he does get in there for sure.
Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, I like Fant, right? He's going to be on the field.
Yeah, well, he catches a lot of touchdowns, which is kind of insane. Like 2 catches, and it's like all touchdowns.
We'll take it though. We'll take a spike week, touchdown week from our week. Our round 15 or whatever it is, tight end. So we need one more tight end, and let's go back to the draft board here. 2 rounds left. We need one non-week 11 quarterback. Let's look at the quarterback really quickly. None of these tight ends stand out to me. Let's go to quarterback. Bryce Young, Carolina. Jimmy G. Let's see. Desmond obviously has the week 11 bye, so we can't go that. So does Mac Jones, of course. We could go Baker, but the key question is we need him for week 11. Can he hold the starting job for 10 weeks? That's really what we need to see here. We need someone for this particular roster construction? Can they hold the job in week 11 outside of injury, obviously? To me, maybe it's the rookie quarterbacks that have the best chance of doing that in Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, but I'm curious to see if anyone I'm missing fits that bill.
Well, I mean, the Bucks, they don't have a guy that can back up, so it's not like Kyle Trask is a world beater that they have waiting behind him either. So I think Baker. I mean, if this team's gonna work, it's gotta be Baker throwing to Godwin, right?
That's true. You're right. You know what? You're right. You're totally right. And we could round this out with Cade Otton in round 18. I was impressed by him as a tight end last year. No other competition there. So we go Baker, Otton. We actually end up with some kind of crazy mega stack towards the end of the draft here.
Well, they might auto hand us the check if the NFL decides to get rid of all the divisions but the South here. So
it's true.
That could be an easy one for us. Yeah, I mean, Cade Otton's an interesting one. They did get rid of OJ Howard, I think.
Yep.
So I don't know what's on the depth chart here. Yeah, so Cade Otton's gonna be the guy, and there's not much behind him. Right. So yeah, let's do it.
All right, man. The Baker Otton. I mean, that's just like achievement unlocked if you even make the playoffs, but you win $3 million with a Baker Mayfield stack. But honestly, given and I don't want to speak for you too much, Kim, but given our lack of prep for best ball at this point in the season, correct me if I'm wrong in regards to you, but I feel like we did a great job of navigating this draft and correlating when possible. When in reality, when you're playing such a top-heavy payout, that's way more important than trying to gain value at every single pick of the draft.
Yeah, no, I agreed there. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I really didn't do much prep either. I don't have a lot of stuff going. But we do have definitely a unique situation where, I mean, if the NFC South really does become, they're also kind of like the worst and best division, and hopefully they score lots of points in a bunch of games that don't matter, and then we'll be looking pretty good here.
Yep, exactly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm just looking at the guys behind us who have taken quarterbacks. We're on the clock. I feel like we should take Baker here first, just to lock that up.
Yeah, let's do that. And if we miss out on Otton, then
we miss out.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Then we get Jelani Woods, fan favorite.
Yeah,
I mean, they gotta throw him the ball.
Yeah, dude, we're all right, man. We're crushing this draft, I gotta say.
And that's a big plus because Richardson is so inaccurate, but Woods is so tall that he can catch all those.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, Uriah could throw him the ball and he still catch 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. I guess now we're here. I mean, we got to look at the guy who drafted Wilson fourth. We got to look at his team, right?
Yeah, let's take a look. All right, so Parker CT, Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall. So clearly he's going with Jets stacking here. Did he take Aaron Rodgers? He decided not to. So interesting. Who the Jets play in Week 17? Let's see if he tried to do that.
The Jets in Week 17, they get the Browns on that Thursday night showdown.
All right, so he took 0 Browns. Maybe he's just a Jets fan. Took Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall back-to-back with no correlation. Because other than that, I don't see any other. Let's see. Did he take?
It's a lot of rookies too. He's got Like this kind of like the ADP guy. He's got Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jamison Williams and Dalton Kincaid and Mingo and Race. I mean, this guy's a rookie lover. He must know something we don't. These
uh,
guys are,
he did just about
yeah,
as much prep as we did. He's a Jets fan who's like, I just watched the draft. I know these names, so let's
yeah,
talk to me. He did stack Jared Goff with Jameson Williams and Jameer Gibbs. That's pretty interesting. I do like that. Um, but again, we are not in any position to really critique anyone's other teams, but we will still gladly do that.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I just can't believe he took him fourth. Like what is going on here?
Yeah,
But get your guys right, I guess.
we're on the clock. We taking Kate out in here for the Tampa Bay 3 million
Yeah.
stack. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Unless you want Desmond Ritter, which
Absolutely.
I don't know if many people want.
I do
But
not. I gladly do not want Desmond Ritter.
you don't want Tom Brady, who could come back and play for the Bucks again.
You know that would be funny, right? If we just took him, because Tom Brady won. Uh, what's his face? Pat Curran, $2 million last year with the Tampa Bay Carolina Week 17 stack. We're just gonna recreate it with Tom Brady's replacement in Baker Mayfield, and we end up somehow, despite all the jokes, of an Atlanta Chicago Week 17 stack, as well as a Tampa Bay New Orleans absolute mega stack for Week 17. So Ken, we're in pretty good shape. We have other correlation mixed in around it. Um, Thanks for joining me. Thanks for helping me out here. I think we did a pretty good job, all things considered.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, lots of correlation, and maybe you would like a couple different picks there, but pretty good in terms of correlation and uniqueness, I think for sure.
I think so too. All right, that'll do it for this show. We appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, this is available on replay. We're live 3 times per week for best ball drafts to Underdog Fantasy. Remember, you see the promo code Occupy. Use that code, get a 100% deposit match bonus up to $100. Join the best ball drafts. We got all summer. We're going to be doing this content, rolling out more tools. It's a new way to play fantasy football. Obviously, people have been doing it, but it's getting bigger and bigger every year. Underdog has $3 million up top in their Best Ball Mania 4. So make sure you join that. Come draft with us. Take a shot at the $3 million. So, Kim, before I get out of here, I will ask you who's going to win this. Who's going to win the PGA Championship? I haven't been following in the last hour. Hopefully, my Millie standings have increased. But who you got winning it?
Well, for some reason they don't start the rounds until 11:30, so no one's teed off yet. But I think Brooks. Brooks, the big major guy, so probably Brooks for me.
All right, you heard it here from Ken. So Swag Lord Ken on Twitter, Saint Kenneth in our Discord. I'm at Brian Jester FF on Twitter. Join our Discord server, occupyfantasy.com/Discord. All the best ball links and Occupy links are in the description below. And we'll see you next time, next Wednesday. I'll be joined by Chris for the next Best Ball Mania draft, and we will use funds from his account and take his bullets for the Best Ball Mania and not mine. So for Ken, I'm Brian. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.